full moon rises over Transylvania with Subspecies, the latest horror offering from Full Moon Entertainment. Director Ted Nicolau bravely pioneers the first American film to be shot in the post-Ceausescu Romania.
Well, when Charlie first proposed doing this film in Romania, I was a little bit suspicious of the whole setup, but they sent me over there for a 4-day kind of location scout. And meeting the people that I'd be working with, Vlad and Juana and Lucian, the art director, and seeing the locations that we would have access to, the ruins in Transylvania and just the beautiful, magical forests that we could have free reign in shooting at. It suddenly seemed to me like the chance of a lifetime, really, to shoot at a place where you just had total access to these ancient places. This is one of the many strange and incredible locations we found here in Romania, a church that was built in the 1870s, and the bell fell off from the roof here and went through the floor. And over here, one of the graves actually cracked open. You can see the hand of somebody down there. It was sort of like a good nightmare, let's say. It was a nightmare while we were there. The production problems and the differences in cultures between the Americans and the Romanians and sort of the leftover psychology of communism that still exists in that country made it a very trying experience for all of us. What? You speak English? Joanne.
Along with Mr. Nicolau came the American cast. Michael Watson of General Hospital, Laura Tate, Michelle McBride, Angus Scrimm of Phantasm.
Why have you come?
And playing the most terrifying vampire this side of Nosferatu, Danish actor Anders Hoben. The American troupe landed in the midst of more troubled times for Romania.
The hotel we were staying at in the heart of Bucharest was along the thoroughfare where the original revolution took place, and everywhere you looked there were bullet holes in the buildings. That sort of gave you a sense of how violent the revolution really was and how many people died in that revolution. And we were in the hotel one day and we heard this incredible commotion and looked out our windows, and there was a river of people coming down the street in protest of the price rises in the government.
My father told me that in the very beginning, in 90 and 10, 90 and 20, Bucharest was a very beautiful city. It was named the small Paris because it had a very specific kind of architecture. It was very warm. And it was really, really very sad that we couldn't keep all this Bucharest for us because it was properly destroyed.
Stay away from the ruins. Stay away. You might interfere with the way things are.
My name is Sanda Vishan. I'm a television reporter. You asked me to tell you some things about the situation of the Romanian film right now. It's a very difficult situation because the whole system has collapsed and things have to be reorganized and things go very slowly.
Slower production pace notwithstanding, director Nicolau jumps into Romanian culture and folklore with the help of costume designer Juana Tofan.
This was a sequence when we needed a festival, a popular festival, so I make sketches with those masks and I find a wonderful man who is makeup at a theater who made those. This is my favorite mask and I like it very much because it's very expressive and I found it the best from all. But it depends on taste. It represents a central character of a gypsy, and the story of the festival is around this character.
We kind of mixed a few metaphors. One mask festival that occurs in northern Romania in the winter that is like a dance with masks. We took that mask dance and kind of combined it with this festival of, you know, unearthing the grave of the undead, and came up with this festival that we put into the film, which I think is one of the centerpieces of the film.
The smallest stars of the film, the subspecies, proved to be the biggest problems for production.
We shot some subspecies, men in rubber suits, in Romania. They built these incredible overscale sets, and we shot these subspecies there. But due to some problems with the costumes and with the stuntmen that we got in Romania, who were like over eager in their performances, we decided when we got the material here that we really needed to make these subspecies more magical. And so we enlisted the aid of David Allen.
What Charlie explained to me was that he had some monsters that he felt were not quite adequate to the picture. So then it remained to me to go through the material and the editors and try to find moments before the costumes ran in or after they ran out of the backgrounds that we could isolate optically to create background plates for the new creatures to operate in a matted-in situation.
The stop-motion animation puppets and the rod puppets are both composed of natural foam rubber and have similar skeletal systems. The only difference being that the skeletal structure of the stop-motion puppet has tension in the joints, while the rod puppet is loose and flexible.
The rod puppetry gives us a certain amount of freedom and speed because basically we're generating this stuff real time. And with the animation, it's a little more time consuming. Well, most of the challenges I've been doing in this kind of rod puppetry work is just basically to make them look convincing on film and to make them look interesting and basically behaving like we're little creatures.
Most would think that shooting a vampire film in Romania is like bringing sand to the beach. We sent our man on the street to ask the average Romanian what they thought of vampires.
Nobody believe in it, in vampires, because there aren't.
The people in Romania never think that there are vampires on this world. Never.
Only America thinks that in Romania exist vampires. Here, we doesn't see them. They doesn't exist. We never saw him. In our history, you don't know about.
We don't think that your books which speak about Dracula, they are real, because for us, for Romanian, Dracula was a very great king, a very great king.
Vampire? What is this?
Dracula story is a story invented by a stupid American for children, not for grown-ups, and is not light to the history of our country and of our people. Is a stupid story. It's not for intelligent people.
In the vampires of communism, maybe.
And as much of a nightmare as a lot of our production was, and as incredibly difficult as it was for us as Americans coming into a situation where there were so little resources to work with, and trying to make a film that involved a lot of special effects and a lot of mechanical effects in a place where they don't really understand mechanical effects as we know it. As difficult as all that was, when I think back on it now, all I remember are the people I was working with and the love that we shared, you know, and the incredible battlefield mentality that we had as we were trying to struggle against production. You know, I sort of miss it in a way.